Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Christo and this is the Best of Both Worlds campaign. In the last episode, Operation Broken Eagle began. How many troops? Probably approximately 750,000 troops landed in Florida with tanks aplenty following up the rear. We're going to crush our way through these United States. We're going to bring them low and make them regret ever joining the Allies. Let's do this thing. Our jets are in the skies. The comet that is sighted is going to do more than hurt their stability. It's going to take their very lives. Now, free civilian factories, you know what? We've reached this point in the campaign. Just don't tell me anything. Don't tell me anything until you're telling me that the United States has agreed to my surrender. Supply situation here, coming under control, honestly. Now that we've got these ports controlled, we could do with a little bit of a Floridian infrastructure repair. We'll get on that. Just drive north. We could wait for our men to organize, but the element of surprise is very much with us at the moment. So let's not. Drive on in. Nice. Okay. Tanks, nearly there. Our glorious super heavy battleships did brilliant work, providing huge levels of support. Oh, nice, a new carrier. Huge levels of support for our cause while the invasion was ongoing, but I think I will now take the time to reorganize the Navy in preparation for fighting our way up the eastern seaboard. American tanks being deployed and outmaneuvered by von Lieb's glorious soldiers. Atlanta, not going to hold for a day. Not even a day. Nice. Charleston next to fall. Unfortunately, the tanks aren't going to be encircled, but still being driven back aplenty. Press on to Mobile. Let's do this. American forces, of course, out of position. Congress making the ridiculous assumption that the American Navy and Air Force could hold off the Germans, deciding to deploy some of their forces, I assume, to China. Yep, I see American modern tanks in there. Ooh, what is going on? Yeah. Here, American modern tank, British modern tank, American modern tank, British modern tank. But you wish you had those somewhere. Oh, good lord, what is going on? Ooh, middle mouse click bug. Very strange when that happens. Don't know how you fix it either. Hey, there we go, it's fixed. Nice. Anyway. Yes, foolishly deploying their troops to China. America's going to pay dearly for that particular mistake. Keep pushing on. Take Birmingham? Birmingham? Could have sworn we took Birmingham a while ago, but there you go. Good old colonists not being able to think of any names. Alright, press on in. Good. Charleston being encircled while the heavy tanks fruitlessly wait defending it to no avail. Press north. No problem. Tanks, I'd like you to mass your forces in the north, please. That's where we are going to make our fastest advance here before turning west and plowing across the American Central Plains. What's the name of this area? I know they're sometimes referred to as the flyover states. Is there a collective name for the kind of flat area in the United States here? I would love to know. Is it the Great Plains? Or is the Great Plains one area of this? Not sure. You know, people make fun of Americans sometimes for being bad at geography and not knowing like where stuff in Europe is, but I don't know. I mean, my American geography is definitely better than most Americans' European geography, but it's not that good. Should really make some kind of improvements there. When is that likely to improve, my American geography? Probably when a Paradox game comes out where I'm really going to want to play as America a lot. Oh, like when Paradox finally brings out, if they ever bring out, and I really hope they do, but if Paradox ever brings out Victoria 3, that's when I'll learn American geography more. Because the US are great fun to play in the Victorian era. Because they're easy, basically. America, obviously, in the Victorian era, placed superbly well to rapidly modernize and industrialize, given just the vast expansion potential to the west. Also because of their early adoption of railroad technology. Partly, again, because of the vast expansion potential to the west, so there you go. Maybe once, if, I suppose, is the, unfortunately, the most accurate way to say that. If Victoria 3 comes out, then I'll get better at American geography. Right, you can wipe out the Charleston tanks now. Alright, tanks ploughing north. Good, good, good. Alright, on the very banks of Washington now. Getting very close. Good old Manstein. He's earned this. He hasn't got the most modern tanks. Speaking of which, should probably bring the modern tanks, shouldn't we? Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. He's not got the most modern tanks, but by God, he's good at using them. Alright, bring in the modern tanks. Alright, you ready? The 986th Schnell Division is going to have the honor, nay, the privilege of taking Washington. Actually, there's quite a stern resistance right there, so he might want to get some support. So, plane-wise, probably do with getting some of these CAS deployed locally. Alright, never mind. We're going to have to be slightly more tactical than just trying to cross a river straight into a fortified city. We'll go round. Highly tactical maneuver. Go round. With 3 tanks attacking from 3 directions into an encircled Washington. Now that are some odds. Those, rather, are some odds that I will take. Nice. Go for them. Not quite. Cross the river, then go for them. Still no. Washington holding out. What level fort have you got there? Level 10 fort! What? Is that from a focus of the AI build a level 10 fort? It's very uncommon. Not going to be enough to save you, though. For a while it will be. They are piercing these modern tanks. Sorry, these medium tanks. Which is unfortunate. But with enough close air support deployed against them, we shouldn't have a problem. And as their air bases fall, their control over the skies are steadily diminishing. Ooh, especially when we take big bases like that. 6 of you can come up here as well. Oh, actually go here. Good. Alright, come on, Washington. You know you want to fall, really. Unfortunately not encircled, of course, because of this little bit further south. But that's okay. We can afford to cycle in men. I don't mind how many men it takes to take Washington. I just want it taken. Broken one level of fort so far. More to follow, no doubt. Just keep up on the combat so that we eventually break these. Nice. Finally got some more encryption. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? Oh, that must be... What? Xinjiang invaded and defeated India. What? Good job, Xinjiang. Oh, I probably pressed activate on these guys' orders. Like these couple of divisions here. No, I didn't. I don't know how the heck that happened. Well done, China. You could also like deal with the home front, but hey, good job. All right, large swathes of the eastern seaboard falling under our control now. Wrap up some of these encircled areas. Let's continue the push. I want to get a nice, neat Mississippi front line, if you wouldn't mind. Not if the locals wouldn't mind. They almost certainly mind, but we don't mind if they mind. We just mind if the troops mind. Which we don't particularly, but anyway. Alright, keep on going in. From many directions. Mitigate those fort defenses. There we go. There we go. Now we're making some progress. Supply is sorting itself out up here. And we're moving into a new supply zone over here as well, so that will make it even easier. Glorious. How goes the fight? Still pretty good. Keep up the many angles of attack. Another level of fort broken yet? We still haven't broken another level of fort. That's outrageous. Oh, those attack values are getting up there now. Nice. There it goes. Washington falls. Fantastic. The fall of Washington. Fighting in areas of Washington D.C. come to an end today when the last pockets of resistance were eliminated by German forces. Glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious. From here, it's going to be a crush. We're going to annihilate them. Where are my modern tanks? Almost here. Some of them not. Some of them leaving. Excuse me? You should all be assigned to this front line. In case that wasn't entirely clear from the orders I gave you. The very clear orders I gave you. Alright, good. Move in there. Alright, secure the rest of the eastern seaboard. And then from there, we will launch our glorious modern tank offensive. Which is basically just flexing at this point. We don't even need the modern tanks. We can do it with infantry. No one's even defending the front. But we want to test out these modern tanks. Who knows when those Bulgarians might rebel again. There goes New York. We might need to practice with these modern tank divisions. Yeah, just keep crushing up the eastern seaboard. Good. I'm slightly concerned by the Canadians. They sometimes get a little bit bulked out in the late game here, but I don't imagine there'll actually be an issue. Just maybe something to be dealt with. Alright, you go over here, straight into Buffalo. And you can start pushing across. I'm going to keep calling them the Rockies, but I feel like these are definitely the Rockies. But I'm going to call these the Rockies anyway. We're going to keep pushing across the Rockies. Where's Columbus so far inland? Surely Columbus should be, like, you know, in Cuba. Was it Cuba or was it Hispaniola? That's the collective name for this island, right? Hispaniola? I think it is. Is it Cuba or Hispaniola? I can't remember where Columbus landed. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up at some point. Alright, keep crushing him. Good. There we go. Every American city on the eastern seaboard fallen into glorious German hands. Modern tanks arriving on the front. Look at the beauties. Okay. You know what? Have at them. Execute aggressively. Off you go. My wonderful modern tank divisions. Basically unopposed. Crushing through America. That's what we like to see. Alright, you know what? We need to simplify this front line. Simplify these front lines slightly. Carl. All Carl's men should be on this front line. Carl, you two. Have at them. The United States is not offering any resistance, which means I'm no longer going to deign to give them the respect of not using an AI battle plan. This is the ultimate insult from Christo. If he uses an AI battle plan against you, you know you are the lowest of the low when it comes to being able to defend yourself. Alright, let's keep going up here. Good. Ooh, Toronto. Sure, I'll have that. And you can go straight to Ottawa. Probably largely undefended. Some lots of volunteers from Republican Spain, interestingly enough, are going to make up what appears to be the majority of the defense of Canada. Interesting. Not quite sure why. Canadians probably all busy in China, like the Americans. But there you go. All right, Detroit, Chicago. Just keep rolling on in. They have nothing to offer in their own defense now. Their last hope was that the wooden wall would hold. The fleet would save them. But definitely not going to happen. There goes Ottawa. Straight over to Montreal. Nice. Now, you guys, the glorious main fleet. Now with a Carrier 5 Europa class in there. It's time to head to Panama. Oh no, Panama is closed, of course. Well, in that case, you know what? Just make sure they don't give us any trouble on the eastern seaboard. That's fine. We can crush across without needing to wage a naval war in the Pacific. It's simply not necessary. Detroit falling, basically undefended again. Excellent. Yeah. Tanks just absolutely roaring across the Texan plain over here. No problem. I should save. The game stuttered slightly and concerned me. I should say I haven't saved yet this recording session. It's always a good idea. Alright. You know what? Speed 5, America. Bye-bye. How much do we have to get them to make them surrender? They're almost there already. When they control 20% or less of their victory points, they will surrender. Exquisite. Well, some slight border gore going on over here. Let's just have a go at some of that. Yeah, as I said, no Canadians defending Canada. just Chinese? Just Spanish troops. No, there's one. No, it's American. An American division defending there. Meanwhile, in the American heartland. Oh, poor America. They never really had a chance. You guys can also begin the dash. And yes, obviously, operate aggressively. Excellent! Well, Indianapolis, very shortly to fall. I would like to see one of my heavy tanks actually in combat. So let's go attack this American division here. Oh, baby. Almost 4,000 breakthrough. My gentle Jesus. That's a lot of damage, is what that is. That's insane. And there we go. Border gore getting cleaned up. Speaking of border gore, goodbye, Canada. It's going to cause some border gore, is why I say that. But, oh well. In the long term, no border, best border. Look at that. Just cruising across. Nothing can stop us now. No problems in other parts of the world. China seems to have a relative handle on things. Not doing so well in the south, but that's okay. They're just getting some practice in. Really. We still haven't lost Vietnam, despite doing nothing to protect it. Could deploy planes. I mean, it's kind of needless at this point, isn't it? But, you know, why not? So give me some air cover over these regions. Let us move slightly faster through them. Give me some jet bombers. Where are they? There they are. We'll base them out of here. Excellent. Just help us as we plow through. Auf geht's! Really not doing very well at opposing this just rampage of just a couple of tank divisions tearing their way through. Glorious. Crossing what I think are the actual Rockies now. Major cities of Canada all in our hands except Vancouver. Excellent. Basically just like a time lapse now, isn't it? We'll just zoom out. There goes Canada. They had 86,000 infantry equipment 3. Not bad. Yoink. Let's just extend these lines a bit. Wipe out the remaining volunteer divisions in the region. And then we can launch a surprise attack on the west coast of America from the north. San Francisco falling. And then we'll just go straight up the victory points on the west coast. And you just grab me San Diego, please. Fantastic. Well, bye-bye, America. It was very unpleasant knowing you. Wilhelm III has announced the cowardly American nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of German forces throughout the country. Operation Broken Eagle is a great success. Nice. Yeah, lots of sound effects. Okay. And there we have it. The best of both worlds. We tried to be diplomatic. We brought so much of the world under our sway without a major war breaking out. And then the treacherous... Was it the US that declared on us? I think it was the US. The Allies declared on us. They sided with fascism. Every time there was a fascist rebellion, the Allies sided with fascism. Every time our diplomatically negotiated, mostly, control over the Balkans was questioned by violent revolutionaries, the Allies sided with them. Eventually, it was too much to bear, and they were brung low. The communists to the east were destroyed. A long campaign against the communists came to great success Elite difficulty, max buff for all the enemies. There you have it. To actually officially end, we need to capitulate just Australia, it looks like. Okay, well, we can probably actually do that. I was very much considering cheating. I still may, because, like, I really don't want to have to invade Australia. So I might, yeah. On this day, the 9th of October, Australia, I'll save before I do this, in case I decide I want to come back and do it for real. But, in my headcanon, what's Australia's tag? On the 9th of Australia, seeing that the final serious bastion of democracy had fallen, they only have 4 divisions. Good God, Australia. The Australian government. No, okay, this is even better. Small factions in the Australian government, swayed by the German propaganda, claiming that the Allies were not, in fact, the lovers of liberty and democracy they claimed to be, citing the recent involvement in the Bulgarian Revolution as evidence the Allies were not to be born. The Australian people rose up in revolt against the whoops, it's the wrong one. Nope, it's the wrong one. What's the tag for freaking rose up in revolt against the Allied military forces, threw them down, and sent peace treaties to Germany. Germany graciously accepted Australia's surrender, and with it, the end of World War II. Fantastic. So now, peace deal time. How are we going to do this? Well, naturally, we need Belgium, because Belgium is part of the HRE, parts of it. We need Alsace-Lorraine. That's probably going to be our eastern border. I mean, the Burgundian area could maybe be argued. I think we'll probably stick with this, though. Also, I mean, the borders are just nicer if you take this little area there. So we'll do that. Obviously, we'll be taking everyone's colonies, naturally. And Gibraltar necessarily needs to be part of our overseas empire. Our place in the sun will freaking block out the sun, is what it's going to do. Right, there we go. Good, yeah. The whole of Africa will be brought under German control. Not quite the whole of Africa, but more or less. Glorious. I wish I turned off debug mode before I did this peace deal, but that's okay. Malta, naturally, vital importance to the future German control over this region. Yeah, give me that. And that. Nice. It's going to take a little bit, but I want to create a nice map to end this campaign on. It's been a long campaign. Thank you for sticking with me through, what has it been? 65 episodes, I think? Is it 65? I think that's right. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I know it's taken a while, especially with the break near the end of a couple of weeks. But it's been, I think, a pretty good campaign. We had some serious challenges near the beginning. Had quite the effort to actually manage to eventually break through those Soviet lines. And all those freaking fights in Belgium. So many freaking back and forth fights in Belgium. It's absolutely outrageous. Quicker way to do this, actually, I've just thought of. So, we will puppet most of these guys. Yeah, God, the back and forth in Belgium was crazy. It's hard to believe that was this campaign. Ireland, we will puppet. And Ireland is going to get Northern Ireland. Sweden, I think, is going to be allowed to remain in the world as a puppet, as is Norway. Denmark will, but only once they give me Jutland. And Denmark doesn't have control over Iceland, do they? No. Free France is going to be puppeted. Which is just this area. Yeah. Good. They can keep some of their overseas colonies as concessions, but we've taken some nice chunks of land off them. Nationalist Spain. Now we've taken their important overseas territories. Can become a puppet. We definitely want the Azores, which we get without even having to go to war with Portugal, which is nice. We obviously need control of the Caribbean ports. These will be important stopping points for the Kriegsmarine as it patrols its truly global empire in future. Likewise, we will require this area. And Canada is going to become... No, we can't puppet Canada. Okay. Because someone else has? Naturally. Canada is going to be a puppet of Japan. Fair enough. We will take a couple of places over here, however, just to establish some naval bases in the Pacific. We'll want Hawaii and Midway and Wake and... I don't remember. What are you called? Marcus Island. I would not have got that if you let me guess for ages. On all of these. Got all the Philippines already. India is going to be our puppet. New Zealand, what's left of it's going to be our puppet. Australia, going to be our puppet. Boom. Canada, unfortunately, is going to go almost 100% to... Oh god, they puppeted England here. That's annoying. In which case, congratulations, Ireland. You get most of Britain. If they were in Man the Guns, of course, we could release... Oh, that's going to cost way too much because they don't count as occupied by Ireland. I mean, obviously they don't because they literally aren't, but... in which case, do we want anything else? Yeah, go on. Let's put the eastern seaboard under German military occupation. Superb. I'm giving it all to Ireland. Whoops. Switch back. Alright, there we go. There we go. That'll do in the United States. The rest we can get puppets. Boom. United Kingdom. Sure. Satellite Korea. Botswana. I thought I took all this land already. Yeah, I think I actually did take all this land already. It's just not really recognizing that I did. That was Portuguese. Anywhere else? Yep. Down here? Nope. You've already got that one. We'll take the Falklands, of course. Rightful German clay, as everyone knows. Any other islands in here? Yeah, we'll take those. Any others? I go to take all states. Just looking for islands, basically. Labrador. Where's Labrador? Ah, it's up here, isn't it? Yeah. Of course, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Bahamas, Christmas Islands, and all mine. Okay, and then the rest of it, I don't think there's anything else we actually want to take from anyone. So I am going to now try and give points. Actually, what I'll do is I'll pass a bunch. That's fine. Good. Done. Boom. It's going to take a moment here to calculate effects. And then I'm going to tailor the world a little bit. Because obviously the PCR mechanic is a little bit limited in some ways. So, the Joseon Empire, nice. But yeah, here is Mittel Europa. Here is the new world we have built. The German Raj, the glorious German Africa. Nice. A satellited, independent kingdom of Egypt. Alright. So, let's just clean up a bit what the borders actually will be. Let's say that was the first round of negotiations we just saw. This is the second. Germany maintains a military presence. Excuse me, why can't I click occupy this? bizarre. Doesn't matter. Germany will maintain a military presence in the United Kingdom to assure that they never rise again. Luxembourg will remain independent. The German military-controlled area of the eastern United States, who have got a new flag, the Confederate States, in fact. Eastern United States here will ship all its industrial goods back to Germany at very low prices. The province of Canada, that's great. Japan, of course, getting a pretty significant empire here, but China, an equal member as well, also made some gains there. They took some land formerly Japanese. Of course, Qingdao and the surrounding peninsula was promised to Germany, and so Qingdao is fully owned by Germany, but the surrounding area is leased indefinitely to our worthy ally, the Republic of China, whose distraction efforts against the Americans made the invasion of the mainland United States so trivial. They deserve recognition for that, and so for that we gift them the surrounding area of the Shandong Peninsula. And that's pretty much the world we've built. Is there anything else we should do? Oh yes, let's just tag Mongolia for a second. There we go. Oh, I can't paint against my own team, is that it? That's annoying. These states here, realistically, we would give to Mongolia to create a nicer front line here. But really... Oops. There we go. This is the world that we have built. Took a long time. Oh, it's little Kenya existing in there. That's kind of nice, actually. The Emu Empire has been established. German holdings over rubber and tungsten supplies in the Near East, in the Indonesian region are vast, generally an unquestioned new world order. Fabulous. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series as much as I did, or half as much as I did, in which case you still enjoyed it quite a bit. I will see you in the next one. The next Hearts of Iron campaign is likely to be either Kaiserreich or Siege Japan, both of which are being requested quite a bit. If you want to make a request of your own, a suggestion who I should play in Kaiserreich, or put your word in for NC Japan, please do so. I'm open to doing both. NC Japan would be quite a long series, quite dull, and I think quite easy, honestly. Unless there's a silly scripted event to make you auto-surrender, I think it would be pretty trivial. It would just take a very long time. But it could be kind of fun. You know, it'd be a bit of a challenge. But either way, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you in the next series, whatever that is. Bye-bye.